Hey everybody, welcome to Adam Does Hard Things, or if you would like, welcome to Adam Listens to His Dogs Bark while he tries to record a video. Today I am talking about a bracelet that I have seen going around that says, "Don't let the hard days win." This really resonated with me lately because there have been some hard days. Nothing extreme, but going through some changes around here. My wife is looking for a new job. Had a lot of issues with children lately. Getting a 7-year-old suspended from school for a day was really great. Sicknesses, it's been a month, been a few weeks, so tired, been pretty stressed out. Trying to figure out how to work my videos back in and get to a consistent schedule, but it's been all I can do just to get my training in lately and get to work and keep the house relatively up to speed. So kind of brings me to my first point, which is acknowledge the suck. So optimism does not come naturally to me. It's been a choice over the past few years to be more positive. But I don't think being positive means that you ignore when things are crappy. And I also don't think that we have to put down each other's suffering, right? So if somebody always has it worse than you, that is very true. No matter what situation you're in, it could be really bad. Things like cancer and death in the family, all these kinds of things, it could be really bad. But somebody's always got it worse. But that doesn't negate your own sufferings. Even if you just have one bad day, it's okay to acknowledge that. Today sucked. It is what it is, as they say. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging that. We have to. You got to acknowledge when things are crappy. It's how we can get through them. If you just live in denial, you're never going to process things. So you have to acknowledge it and you have to embrace it. We say that a lot in the riding community: embrace the suck, embrace the suffering, right? When it hurts, you lean into it and you keep moving. And that's, that's necessary. We can't run from things when they're hard, or we'll never be able to face harder things. It's part of the reason I do the stuff that I do is so that in some instances I get to choose my own suffering, right? And when you choose your own suffering, it helps you learn how to deal with the suffering that you didn't choose, because you can put yourself in those situations so that you know how to handle things. But the important thing that we don't do is we don't want to wallow in it, right? It's necessary to acknowledge it. Most of the time we have to embrace it in order to get through it, but we can't wallow. Because when we wallow and we have self-pity and we start to think, why did this happen to me, or why am I the only one, and we get those self-absorbed thoughts going around in our head, it's a downward spiral, and it just kind of takes you over. And that's where I used to be a lot, and I still lean towards that. I have to fight it. I don't want to say every day, but almost every day there's that little voice that just wants me to pick out all those little things that go wrong and just sit in those and complain about it and let that be my day. And we can't wallow. There's a lot of things you can wallow in, but it's pointless. You can't change anything by just dwelling on it. At some point, you got to embrace it and move forward. Like we have to keep moving forward, or we sink, right? And that gets back to a lot of the things that I've been learning and talking about through these videos is the consistency, right? So when we start to get into that pit of wallowing, the self-pity and whatnot, just remember the consistency. If you're doing things over and over, even if you're choosing to do something very short and small, you're doing the work, you're getting things done. Remember that. Instead of focusing on the negative, remember the consistency, everything that you've built, right? It's okay to start over. it's okay to start over every day. Sometimes that's what it is. Each day is, yep, I got to start over today. That's sometimes we get a lot of good days built up and there's a lot of progress and things are feeling really great, and then you get hit and the temptation is to just give up for a while, right? But if we don't let those days derail all our progress, we just start over every day, right? Every day is a new day. It's not, if you ended a really long streak of doing something, well, tomorrow's another day to start. You can't just focus on, well, I didn't do it, so now it's all over. We just got to remember the consistency and choose our perspective, right? We've talked about perspective and perception before. That's a choice, right? We can choose to perceive things in a different light. So remember the consistency, choose our perception, and do the work. I really want to say the word, but my kids watch this, so do the work. It's all continuous. It's all a cycle. And that's what I'm focusing on today. Remember the consistency. Keep it going. Choose the perspective. Choose the way you look at things. And do the work. That's how we don't let the hard days win. Because there's going to be a lot of hard days. And if we focus on the crappy things, we're never going to get anywhere. We have to do those hard things to not let the hard days win. If that makes sense. So, today, I need my third winter item in order to do the work. Yes, that's right. I am finally doing it. Finally talking about the number 3 thing that you need if you're going to ride in winter. Other people have some different products that they use, but I swear by these. And they have the coolest name ever. It is the Wolf Hammer. The 45 North Wolf Hammer boot. These things are amazing. This is a slightly older version. They have a new version now. Has a little bit different setup with the boa. So this one's got it right here. And it's the one complaint that a lot of people have on this shoe is this boa tightens really well up here, but it leaves this whole area a little bit lacking. And it can tend to move your foot around. So if you're doing a short, fast race, I don't necessarily recommend these because you can't get a lot of power transfer. It tends to loosen up and you move a little bit, and you really got to reef on these things. I find myself, I'll push my foot forward and jam it like this so I can smash the tongue in and get it tighter. Small complaint though, these things have kept my feet warm in 27 degrees below zero. Multiple hour rides. They're amazing. You want to get them a little bit big so that you can fit some warm socks in there. Remember what socks are. Of course you know what socks. That came out wrong and I'm not starting over. Remember what our favorite socks are. The hollow alpaca boot socks are fantastic in these boots. But make sure you have a little bit of room to breathe. You don't want really tight constricting boots because then the air can't move around. And you need that little bit of airflow, and your feet need to be able to move, right? You want to be able to crunch your toes up so that you can keep the blood flowing. Yeah, so size up, maybe one size, wear some thick socks, and they will keep your feet warm for hours and hours and hours. They are expensive. It's worth it. They last forever. They're comfortable, and they just plain work. So I'll be wearing those tonight when I go out for... training plan says 4 hours and 45 minutes. I'm not going to be out that long. We'll see how long I can make it. Head out around 8. We got snow. I said we were going to get more snow. I said don't put your winter stuff away. It's Wisconsin. Well, maybe somebody out there is watching this not in Wisconsin. Hi. Hello. We have snow in spring. So, that's just what it is here. So I'm going to put my boots on and go do the work. So you do it too. Do the work. You put whatever word in there you want. But like I said, my kids watch this. All right. Thanks for tuning in to Adam Does Hard Things. I'm going to try to be more consistent on when I publish. So you guys have a good day. Crush it. Do the work.